Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 18 of the Posh Push, here with Peterborough in the Sky Bet Championship. Hopefully you guys are good. Today we have a live comm against Brentford for you guys, but first things first, we're going to do our standard review. And there's already something that might leap out to you on this page, and that is the fact that our financial status is insecure. Let's elaborate. Right, so if we come to the finance tab here, we're actually minus 3 million in the bank. We've obviously lost money this year, and you can see last season we actually lost £4 million. This year we've lost 2.99. That means that we are obviously financially insecure because our balance is negative 3 million. However, with a impending promotion looking more and more likely, we should be okay in that regard. If you look at our financial fair play, our projected profit and loss for our period is 1.57 million. You're allowed up to 3 million. So it's not too bad right now. If we don't get promoted, that's when the real worry will set in. But with 10 games left of the season, we do find ourselves 14 points clear of third place. So we're looking pretty comfortable in that regard. You'll be able to see, actually, if you've paid attention, that we have dropped a little bit off Newcastle in the last 5 games since the previous episode. So let's look at those 5 games. And as you can see, we've played Bolton, Ipswich, West Ham, Birmingham and Millwall. The defeat against West Ham being the only one in these 5 games, perhaps not the most surprising thing. West Ham with a brand new manager at the helm. I'm not even sure who it is now I think about it. It is Steve McLaren, who's recently been appointed their manager. That was a tricky game going to Upton Park, but we'll get onto that one in a second. But besides that, we've done pretty well in this period, really. We beat Bolton, fortunately, 2-1. This was a very lucky escape, as we actually were 0-0. Not 0-0, sorry, 1-1, going right into the end of the game, and we actually scored a last-minute set-piece in very bizarre fashion, an own goal actually coming our way, but I celebrated it like I'd won a cup final. It was good. Actually, during this period, I didn't even realise this. I knew this had become an issue, and I talked about this last episode, the fact that I brought in Adam Lafondra as kind of my second goal-scoring option. Assombalonga had actually got 9 hours without scoring at one point, which is obviously 10 matches equivalently. But he has got back to scoring ways during this period. I think it was just after this game that I got an email through, basically, you know, the standard, he's looking for goals and he hasn't been able to find the net in 9 hours of competitive football. So I sat him down, I gave him a little chat, and we managed to, you know, established that he needed to play better, and Assombalonga, fortunately for us, scored the very next game, and I think he scored 2 against Millwall as well. So he's finding that goal scoring form that we've maybe been lacking. The goals have come from elsewhere in the meantime, but regardless, just having Assombalonga on song for us is absolutely essential for how we play. But anyway, Millwall game was later, and this game was against Ipswich. First goal there coming from Will Hughes, and then the next goal I believe was an own goal. I'm trying to remember how exactly it went in. I really can't remember. I've noticed in FM this year there's a lot of own goals. It may well have been off this cross. Was it? I don't know. I'm trying to remember. But own goals in this game are like really common. That one there I believe was by Smith, the centre-back. That was pretty embarrassing. But that gave us a 2-0 lead, and that's how it stood for the second half against Ipswich. Next game, as I already mentioned, we lost to West Ham 1-0. Disappointing game all in all. It was a pretty boring affair, so that was a little bit disappointing. We then drew 2-2 with Birmingham, Assombalonga grabbing a goal in the 11th minute. We did then go 2-1 down before Will Keane rescued a late point for us in the 67th minute. Will Keane, a player who has fantastic potential but has really only been a sub option this year for us. You can see here 22 appearances off the bench, 6 starts. He's been a player who's featured pretty heavily, be it off the bench. Anyway, the last game of this period, Assombalonga grabbed 2, and this was a really crazy game. We were 1-0 up after 4 minutes, 3-1 down by the 60th minute, and we managed to get 2 late second half goals in the last 25 minutes to get a 3-3 draw and another late point, like the one we got in the previous game. And these points may well prove to be invaluable. But anyway, as I mentioned, we took the lead, then Pratley there with a deflected effort for Millwall that went into the bottom left-hand corner. In the second half, Millwall came out the blocks flying, and it was a pretty scary prospect going 3-1 down to these guys. Both their goals very similar. Collison there with the first. and then they score from a similar position. I believe it was Collison again, scoring out on the right-hand side from an odd angle. This time it deflected, or actually it was a tackle by Boswick, fell to Collison. Keeper didn't even have a chance to move. However, despite this, we motivated the team, and Assombalonga and co stepped up to the task, and with a few tactical tweaks, going a little bit more attacking, we were able to grab 2 goals there. Assombalonga with a nice finish, and he followed it up with his second of the game, and his third goal in 2 games in the 88th minute, as you can see there. So that was a great way to get a point in this game. It was a hard-fought point, to say the least. So anyway, as you can see, that leaves us in second place. 10 games left of the season, 6 points behind Newcastle, 14 points clear of Middlesbrough. We're in quite a comfortable position right now. Looking at the goal scoring charts, Assombalonga still leads the way. Will Hughes still appears on the average ratings, and Freire has 14 assists to his name so far this year. So, in terms of good performers of late, Will Hughes and Assombalonga have been right up there. Boswick's been playing well. He's kind of started slotting in at centre-back for us, and he's done a very good job there. Jack Baldwin, the young prospect at centre-back, has improved a lot this year. He's continuing to do so. Could be a very, very good English centre-half in the future. Maybe even get a cap or two. He's developed leaps and bounds. His strength's now up to 16. If he can improve his defensive stats just a little bit more, he's going to be right up there. Jeff Hendrick also played okay of late. He's been a player who's been a bit of an odd one this year, because Jeff Hendrick came into the side from Derby. I paid pretty good money for him, and he's done the job for us at deep line playmaker. He has the legs to kind of play that role and get up and down the park. You can see 23 appearances, a 7.08 average rating, but only a 5 assists and not a goal to his name. Maybe a tad disappointing. So in terms of everything else going on, confidence you can see here. Despite the financial issues, we are within my wage budget, and if we get promoted, that's not going to be an issue. Other than that, all the criteria has been fulfilled. The board are pretty happy with everything. Giving youth a chance, apparently it's too early to judge. We're in March. Not sure why that's the case, but we'll just go with it. In terms of the signings, Jeff Hendrick proving to be a very popular one. Delfonso Sale as well, from back at the start of the season, has been doing very well, and the fans are happy with that. You can see we sold him for 1.4 million to Wolves, and he's only played 4 league games for them. So he's a pretty good transfer, if you ask me. Pretty smart sale. So anyway, we do go into today's game against Brentford, knowing that a win here could help us immensely. Brentford, you can see here, currently 7th place. They were right at the top of the table for a period, but they have dropped off, so they're struggling a little bit of late. I'm going to be looking for us to get a win here. You can see they've not won in their last 6, and if you go even further back, they've won 1 of their last 9. So, we'll get into today's game. I'm going to be going with our more attacking tactic, I think, today. In terms of players, Lee Chung-yong has really been disappointing. Obviously, I signed this guy at January. He didn't feature in the last episode because he was injured, but I'm looking for him to give some performances today to make up for the lack of them that he's put in so far since he's joined the club. I don't know what it is up with him. I think if he fails to perform here, may well have to consider dropping in, give him a bit of a private chat, sit him down. And really, I'm looking for him to bring something to the table here out on the right wing. Freire and Hughes have been superb. Assombalonga's back in form. I'm confident we can get a win here. Brentford really struggling for form of late. And we've scored 5 goals in our last 2. It's a shame defensively we've not been as solid, but I believe we're more than up to the task of this Brentford team if we play as well as we can. So yeah, so far this season's been a bit of an odd one, because we kind of find ourselves in a situation 10 games from the end of the season where we've got kind of such a healthy cushion over the teams behind us, and Newcastle are in such good form, I can't see us catching them. And so I don't want to say there's nothing to play for. Obviously we have to keep winning, and we have been slipping up lately, but we are in just an odd situation whereby we could end up finishing a lot of games before the end of the season, knowing our fate, knowing where we're going to lie in the table. I don't want to plan too far ahead yet, but I have been kind of casting a mind forward to the kind of, I guess, Premier League campaign, and I guess what the future might hold for us in other leagues. You know, in the Premier League, how are we going to adapt But I don't know, it's difficult because you want to plan for the future, but I'm in kind of a situation now where I don't want to get too complacent. I don't want to be, what's the word? I don't want to get carried away, essentially, and start planning for the Premier League and then we miss out late on. But right now we're playing with some confidence. A Sombalonga, great finish, my son. Smashes it into the roof of the net. That is 4 goals for him in 3. He is back to goal-scoring ways, which is a very, very positive sign going into the end of the season. And you can see 27th goal of the season. He's actually got 26 in the league so far, which surpasses his total in the league last year in League One. So he has really stepped up to the plate in this division, and that is a fine finish by Britta Sombalonga there to give us a 1-0 lead here at home against Brentford. Looking at our team, to be honest, like, I brought in a lot of young players, and a lot of these players are going to just continue to develop. Going into the Premier League, until I know what money I might have, it's kind of, I don't want to think too far ahead. But I'm pretty confident that we've got a solid enough side that's still improving to, you know, establish ourselves as a Premier League outfit next season. We've proven this year that we can punch above our weight as well. Like, a lot of my players now have Premier League quality or Premier League potential, which is great. And you kind of look at the team, it's been a very smooth transition for Peterborough from League One to where I find myself now. There are plenty of players who I started with still in the side, a Sombalonga, Bob, a Boswick, but at the same time I've kind of added players where need be very progressively over the last year and a half. So in the first window I added players like Alcock, Mellis, you know, you get the idea. Then this year I added a few more players, and it just slowly built up a team, and I feel as if we do have that kind of a team. Team cohesion is very high. We now need to defend a set piece though, that's okay. That's Brentford's first clear-cut chance. The next goal here is huge. If we can get it, 2-0 will be fine. But right now I'm a little bit nervous and a little... Oh, okay. What I was going to say was I was a little bit apprehensive and a bit tentative to get too carried away, think we were going to win this game. But Friere there with another assist. Britta Sombalonga as well with another goal. Great run by Friere down the left-hand side. Sombalonga finds a space. That is another goal for him. 5 goals in 3 now. He is back in form. And these have not been easy games we've been playing. Not by any means. If we get a few more, that would be great for the goal difference. That's kind of what I'm looking at now. Can we smash in a few more? Can we extend the cushion that we have in that regard? In every way possible, I guess. Just increasing that cushion that we have over teams behind us. Go on. Penalty, Shirley. Oh, he's given it. Dean's sent off. He's got to go. He's got it. Is the ref not booking him? Wow, that is lenient to say the least. To Sombalonga for the hat-trick. Can he do it? Yes, he can. 3-0 Peterborough. This is a confident performance. This is the kind of performance I needed. You might have seen, if you looked at my team, we hadn't put in 3. The confidence and the morale in my team was all okay. We had all the yellow arrows, and I was a little bit... well, if we lost this game, it would have been an issue. But this kind of performance is going to raise confidence in the camp. A Sombalonga firing on all cylinders right now is also a very positive sign. And long may it continue into the end of the season and hopefully beyond. We're at whatever division we may be in. I'm going to make some changes, however. Will Hughes is booked. There's no point in risking him. Same for Alcock. Just do a double change there. But this is impressive. This is a good performance, and one that I think we can be very happy with. Now we just need to keep winning a few more, because obviously we drew the last 2, which is pretty poor really. But although we did rescue a few late points in a lot of our games in our last 5, you know, you look at the Bolton game when we scored late on, you look at the 2 late goals against Millwall to rescue a draw and finish 3-3. We're playing okay. Right. If we can make it 4, that would be amazing, boys. Get Sombalonga the ball again. He wants 4. He wants 4. Oh dear. Good tackle. What is Lee Chung-yong's rating? At 7.0. That's better than it has been. Which isn't really saying a lot, really, because he has been, by and large, disappointing on our right-hand side. But we'll let him off. New team, new style. He's got to adapt. But we've done well this game. We've not needed him to adapt for this game. Right. Mellis, Chiong. Oh, he almost scored as well. That would have been a great way to cap it off and shut me up. It is, I guess, a chance missed though by him, which is a little bit disappointing. But regardless, 3-0 is a fantastic result. I am very pleased with your performances. You can see a Sombolonga getting man of the match. Will Hughes got an assist. Good game, good performance. What happened? Newcastle won. What about the teams behind us? Reading lost. Where's Middlesbrough? Did they not play? Oh, they did. They lost 2-0 to Wolves. Excellent. So that we keep a 14-point gap with 9 games left. It is actually worth noting the fact that Watford are the team in third, and you guys may remember I drew attention to them because they will rock the bottom of the table after 10 games, and they really have had a good charge up the table. So fair play to Watford this year because they've turned their season around. Uwe Rosler's done a great job there. But anyway, we'll wrap up today's episode there, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, as always, you can smash the like button. It does greatly help me out, and it is much appreciated. If you've got any comments with regards to my team, anything that's going on in your saves, my saves, whatever, leave it down in the comments. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.